Welcome to Toy Business Unboxed, your gateway to the secrets of the toy industry. Here, Jason Shea, a toy entrepreneur and expert in the field.
Every product we develop is really inspired by some of the real life experience that we have with our son.
60% of all toys last year were sold on Amazon, which is incredible.
Be passionate about it because it's a road, it's a journey.
Like when you have an idea that you think is like gonna somewhat like change the world, make things better, I'd say go for it.
We'll guide you through the enchanting world of toy design, marketing, and manufacturing. Now let the unboxing begin.
Welcome back to another episode of Toy Business Unboxed. Today's guest is Mitchell, a creative force behind MADgical Productions, a lifelong fan of video games, tabletop adventure, and everything in between. Mitchell has turned his passion into a purpose, which is designing games that connect with people. As the owner and the lead designer, he's on a mission to prove that play isn't just about fun, but it's also fundamental to human relationship. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so as we start today's kind of conversation, can you kind of share with our audience what was the first game that make you fall in love with like the tabletop industry?
I grew up playing board games with my family and everything, but Magic the Gathering that got me really deep into the board game, card game world. And because I'm best friends with two guys today, we knew each other in high school, but we become friends until after high school because we had nightly Magic nights. And we all learned the game together and we all got to. I mean, it was every day. It was like poker night.
I see.
Yeah. And again, we knew each other. We didn't really know each other as friends. I don't know what I'd do without those guys. And so I don't know what I would do without Magic the Gathering. It's really what brought my friend group together.
I see. And can you also tell us a little bit about the origin story behind the current publishing company that you also run?
So starting around when COVID-19 happened, I had an idea. While I love Magic the Gathering, it has some issues. And I sought to choose and also create a science fiction game because I'm more of a science fiction fan than a fantasy magic kind of person. Even though I do enjoy those, I just prefer science fiction. And I didn't want to make a one-off game. I decided I wanted to make a company because I'm sure there's other ideas I'll have. And that's the idea with MADgical Productions. I made it specifically production, so it's not limited to just games.
I see. And what was the first game that you work on or first product that you work on?
So at first, before I was officially calling it a company, I was taking a game and just kind of coming up with, what if the elves were this, or what if the dwarves are that, making a science fiction. And I found that I ended up changing so much that it was a completely new game and ended up just coming up with a whole brand new one. I've actually got it sitting right here, Celeste, and it's a science fiction deck building game where you play as 4 different factions and then wage each other. And that carried through COVID, that design process. But yeah, that was the first one.
Okay. So that's kind of like a deck building game, right? First one.
Yeah. Right now it's a self-contained game. So box, you get all 4 factions with it. One issue I don't like with Magic is that it's very dependent on what your opening hand is. And there's a lot of luck in that. With Celeste, it's dependent on how you build your game engine or your strategy rolling.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
How fast is the gameplay? Usually, how many minutes does it take?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the funny thing. I'm sure people who play Magic the Gathering know the same issue. You have 2 people play a game in 20 minutes easily. You get 3 people, and suddenly that might take 30 to 40. 4 people, the game goes up to 4. It could take 2 hours, mostly because some people have to go up and go to the bathroom. Other people want to go get a drink. 2 people start having a side conversation. If you were actually dedicated and playing the game, you could easily play with 4 people in under.
Okay, under an hour for 4 people. Okay, that's
Yeah.
not too long. I see. What are some of the other kind of characteristics that you feel like you make your game a little bit more unique compared to the rest of the product in the market?
So a lot of other science fiction games, they focus on like one aspect of sci-fi. You might be humans fighting robots fighting humans. You might be humans fighting aliens, and just things like that. I'm a kind of conglomerate of science fiction. So the 4 factions are the humans, of course. It would be hard to have a game without that. But then you have the aliens, and they're the traditional superior in technology, superior in intellect kind of group. So they play a lot. And then the robots, I took a lot of inspiration from famous movies with robots. or Terminator in specific. But the idea is that they're heavy hitters. There's a lot of them. They die easily. Like one human soldier could take 5 of them out, but if that one robot gets a hit, it's going to take out the human. It's just a never-ending swarm of guys coming at you. And then I also wanted some mystical element in there. There's got to be some mystery in the story. It's where the fourth faction comes in. It's kind of like the Force in Star Wars in that there's no explanation of how it fits in the physics, but it's there. And it's the living life force of the planet. The most unique one. You actually play as the planet itself.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
And how do you design the game initially? How do you came up with like the idea and also the dynamic between the cars and make sure all the cars have enough balance? Can you also walk us through your design process?
So when I sat down to design the cards, I came up with just an idea of how I wanted the game to flow. Then I threw down ideas and I read several books on game design. And one of the top tips was playtest. Even if it's you playing against yourself or you playing with a friend, you need to be able to play test it and be able to change it on the fly. Play a quick round, go, that doesn't work, make changes for the round. And that way you can try to, tease out what is important and what things aren't going to work. So honestly, what I did was I took with Magic the Gathering cards in them and then cut out like 9 sheet of paper and just wrote the name and a brief description of just kind of what it does and just slipped it over the top.
Okay.
So I could actually have a deck that I shuffled and everything, and I sleeved them according to what group they were. The life force, red was the robots.
I see.
So I could,
yeah.
And then I ended up creating a whole spreadsheet that set 4 games against each and kind of record how the games go. And that's the initial idea. And then I prettied up the prototypes a little bit and I showed friends. And one of my friends, he's a min-maxer in Dungeons and Dragons. He absolutely loves to break games and he finds it to do that. So I told him, have at it. Tell me what's wrong. And sure enough, hey, if you do this one specific thing, you'll win every single game. And I'm like, I need to find kind of a way to balance that out because that once that catches on, the game needs to be refined before it gets released. I find with like a lot of video games, digital card games these days, it feels like they go and cheat. They'll release the thing and then just update the game. And I want, once it's printed it out there, you can't change. I need to make sure that the quality was a top notch and that all 4 factions felt balanced. I want people in which faction that they play, they identify with.
I see. When you come up with a design, do you design with a certain group of people or like particular age group in mind as well?
Yeah, so particular age group. The whole reason I wanted to do that, especially after COVID, it happened to coincide with COVID. It wasn't because of COVID, but it was people together, kind of like Magic did with me and my friends. And so I started with what I know, Magic the Gathering style game, complicated, competitive. The second game I made was a college party, very loose rules, meant to be fun, move one challenge to the next, and it's casual. But because I'm looking at bringing friends and family together, yes, I target many different age groups. So I usually start with, okay, what group of people do I want to target next? It's a specific age, but it might be a specific mindset or something like that. Because I'm trying, okay, I have product and I don't have a group of people that would like this. Okay, what can I make for them so that they're included and can play around the table as well?
I see. Interesting.
Yeah.
And have you seen the game that you may bring people closer in any unexpected way?
Yeah, actually, just recently, my girlfriend had her birthday party at our house, and we ran into some old high school friends from like 7 years ago, and she invited them all over. And my group of friends, and nobody knew each other. It was her friends talking in one corner and my a different corner.
Yeah.
And I jokingly said to my friend, hey, you want me to break out Get With It? Actually, it'd probably be a great idea. It can go up to 10, 12 people. There's like 10, 12 people here and can join in and drop out. I mean, that's one of the advantages. It's you do a minute challenge, you move on to the next challenge. And before you know it, both groups were talking, chatting, and having fun. And it known it was two groups to begin with. It looked like just one group of people, even though for about an hour, 2 separate groups talking.
Okay. And which game were they playing together?
So it was my other party game, which I unfortunately don't have sitting with me at the moment. A casual party game. It encourages some drinking, but it's not required. I didn't want to make that a requirement. It be casual.
Oh, I see. So how does that game work? Is that also a card-based game?
Yeah, so that one's a card-based game. Again, easy prototyping. I found out very quickly that I had an issue with if you were colorblind, I had to fix it immediately. But like, because I play tested within a half in the idea, I found that out and was able to get it corrected. But basically, there's 3 decks of cards: easy, medium, and hard. There's no benefit to picking one. Hard usually is more eccentric, acting, singing, dancing, just doing things that are embarrassing. While easy is try to guess someone's favorite color, kind of icebreaker stuff, something that you can participate, and it's just going to ask you very minimally how to do something. And as I said, there's no points attached to it. So you can pick easy all day long. You can pick medium all day. But I know some people like to be the center of attention. They like to be the next day, hey, remember last night we had to act like that and stuff like that. So it's purely what participation level do you want to have? And then, as I said, you win the challenge, you lose the challenge, you move on. And then as soon as you finish that one, the next person grabs a card. And sometimes the cards separate you, divide into 2 different teams and do something. So sometimes you get split up. I draw a card and I've got to do something. Sometimes it involves everybody around you.
I see. How do you win the game?
So that's the weird part. You don't win overall. You win a challenge and then you move on to the next one. And that helps a lot with parties. If it was a 20-minute game or 30-minute game and people are coming over, they got to wait finish or try to figure out what's going on. With the drop in, drop out, you wait till the 2-minute challenge, and then you can jump in on the next one. Sometimes you can even jump in on the current one. Or somebody can be like, I'll be back, and they aren't going to really miss and like lose out on points or anything.
Okay, it's based on the challenge. So there's going to be a challenge card pile that they can draw and see what kind of challenge the round is going to be.
Yeah, that's the easy, medium, or hard.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And what are some of your favorite part of the game design process, since you have created several different games over the years?
Honestly, sometimes it's premature, but I want to show people all the ideas I have. It looks bad at the moment. It's handwritten notes on something. I'm just so excited about ideas. I've got a notebook full of games I want to make, but the most exciting thing is the new game. But it's also the nerve-wracking because, what if they don't like it? What do I do?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you never know. That's why you do playtesting, I think, and you got to get more feedback, right?
However, my most hated part by far is I don't like playtesting.
You don't like playtesting?
It's way too repetitive. And one of the books I read, they said, you know what? Playing your game at the end of the day, you didn't playtest it enough. And I've said, people look at me weird when I say like, I really don't like playing my game. And they're like, why? I'm like, do you realize how many times? And also, I can't play the game and not go into, I could have done that a little better. Or, well, what if I would have done that? Could that have fixed this problem? Something like that. I can't play the game without going into edit mode.
Oh, yeah, you become more critical on it as well. It's definitely interesting. I mean, that's definitely a struggle, I think, for a lot of the game designer. Yeah, and I think like for obviously you have party games, you also have like a card building game. Any other games that we haven't mentioned that you also have right now?
Just those 2. The next one I'm working on, you mentioned the age group, and drinking games great for friends, not great for family. The competitive deck building game, great for friends. Like, I mean, families can have competitive, but it usually that doesn't work. Next game I'm working on, it's I think the working title is like, oh no, my bones. And the idea is you're a little skeleton, you've lost, and so you're just a skull, and you're trying to move through the little town on the board, kind of land or something.
I see.
Simple.
Okay.
You roll the dice, you move the number of spaces, but like the board's going to be split. Picture a 4-folding board, a quad-fold board. Each section is going to be like a different part of the town and be its own little board. So during your turn, you can choose to continue to move around that area, or you can move to a new area. And like the areas would be like neighborhood, the graveyard, the witch's house, stuff like that. And I want it cutesy, Halloween themed, and designed for, it means Candyland. Kids can play this sort of thing, but I want adults to have fun with it too and be able to, you can make choices, and it's not roll dice and I landed on a good thing. It's okay, I can roll dice or I can move. And the idea is you rebuild, and first player to get all their bones back wins.
I see. Okay, that's an interesting game. When are you planning to publish that game?
No idea at the moment. It's a slow working title, but if the other games take off, that helps me more time and more focus on that one too.
I see. Got it. So what is next for the company, and what is your vision for the company in the next couple of years?
Well, actually, I do have Get With It here. It's Get Dirty With It. It's the NSFW expansion for it, the
Okay.
prototype pack. But Get With It has expansions. I want to continue to release more. I have a Halloween pack, a Val pack that focuses a lot on like you and a partner have a challenge that you have to do together, stuff like that. I want to continue to release little expansion packs like that. And then have an expansion for Celeste planned with the science fiction deck building game. I failed to mention it earlier, but there's a free to read story online. I talked about I want people to have pride in their faction. So the idea is it's a story with 4 different perspectives.
Okay.
I want to continue to expand upon that story.
Okay.
So add chapter 2 to each of the factions, kind of more like chapters 5 through 8. I have a second expansion planned for that as well to introduce some new mechanics and the trading card that allows people to customize their factions. Right now, you can play as the United Fleet, the humans, but cards that come with the starter kit. I'm with the expansion, the game will come in like fruition in that you'll be able to, if you play a person who uses United Fleet, they won't be necessarily the person else who plays United Fleet. It'd be similar to if you played 2 red players in Magic or 2 Archfiend users in Yu-Gi-Oh. They're different decks, even though it's the same archetype.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it gives people customization to make. It's not. I'm a United Fleet. This is my United Fleet, and this is the group I'm bringing to the game. And I think that'll bring the story and everything on Spotify to help people they play their theme when they're going to do something really big and grand, and expansion will just really help tie that all together.
Okay. And the expansion is also coming out soon. What does the timeline look like?
Again, I don't exactly have a timeline yet. It's dependent on how well the others do, but it's definitely on the radar, and I've got done some little play testing with it. So
I see. So okay, thank you so much for sharing all the different wonderful games that you have. And as far as marketing wise, what are some of the marketing strategy that you're currently doing to promote your games and try to get more public awareness?
I'm based out of Phoenix, Arizona. So I've done events at Phoenix Fan Fusion or Phoenix Comic Con, but I'm most Game On Expo that happens April every year.
Yeah.
So in the convention center, and I'm present on X as well as Instagram, and then I have a website .com. Explains that's where the stories are and explains the background.
I see. We'll make sure we put that into the show note. And as well, kind of wrapping up today's conversation, if you have to share just one piece of advice with someone that's getting started in the toys or game industry, what would that be?
So it's kind of 2 pieces of advice, but they're tied. First, as I mentioned earlier, I would highly recommend prototype. Don't spend a lot making a prototype. Don't go find pictures for everything. Don't type everything up. The only way you're going to is by playing the game and tweaking the rules as you go along. So, as I said, write it on a piece of paper and start playtesting it, even if it's against yourself. You'll find issues that you never even thought of. And don't tweak the game forever. If you continue to tweak the game, you'll never release. At some point, you got to go, you know what? It's as good as it's going to get, and I've got to get the game out, because you can always continue to make changes here and there. No game's ever perfect, and to think yours could ever be perfect is a fallacy. Get it up to that 80%, and then you want to hit that 90, 95, and start to actually release the game. And you'll hit that extra 15% between the 80 and 95 with the public and going to prototyping night and stuff, game designers night, and getting actual feedback.
I see. Got it. Yeah, thank you for that advice as well. And we'll make sure we put all your information in the show note today. And thank you so much for being on our podcast today and sharing your journey and your story.
Yeah, well, thank you so much.
And thank you for our listener for tuning in to today's episode of Toy Business Unboxed podcast. We hope you have enjoyed today's conversation and find it insightful and inspiring. If you like what you have heard, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. We really appreciate your support and would love it if you can leave us a review and share the podcast with your friend and colleague. For more resource tips and the latest update within the toys and game industry, visit our website at toy-launch.com. Join our conversation and connect with us on social media using hashtag #ToyBusinessUnboxed. We'd love to hear your feedback and suggestion for a future episode. Until next time, keep innovating, keep creating, keep bringing joys to toys. This is Jason Shea signing off on the Toy Business Unboxed podcast, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much, everyone.